everyone, it's Leandra at New Vocations Kentucky facility, and today for our Stable Pass behind the scenes video I have Wayfarer here with me, who we call Ray, and we figured that we would give you a little sneak peek insider look at Ray, both on the cross ties, and then I'm going to go sit on him and hopefully it doesn't downpour on us. It's been raining on and off a lot here in Kentucky. But Ray is exceptionally quiet in the cross ties, so we figured we might as well show you. And then sometimes there are things that are notable that we aren't always able to capture in the pictures or in the descriptions that we put online, because we really just want those to be kind of something to pique your interest in a horse and then discuss things. But one of those things that can sometimes be missed are conformational things, like with Ray here, you can see he's toed in. See the little pigeon toed here. And it doesn't really cause any issues for him in the workload that he's in, so maybe it won't be an issue for somebody. But if you were wanting to, say, go into a more difficult career path, maybe it's show jumping or eventing, that those sort of conformational things can put them at higher risk for uneven wear on their joints and their feet and things like that. So but that kind of goes in line with what we anticipated for Ray, which is kind of a lower level career path anyway, which seems like that's where he would probably be happiest, just from a mental standpoint as far as what he would like to do. But like I said, he's exceptionally well behaved in the cross ties. He's a really mellow horse in general. You can see he has a really sweet eye. You might be able to see some of the marks on him from getting kicked by some turnout buddies. He is in a rougher field because he tends to play a little rougher too, but that means that sometimes these young geldings, more often than not actually, can be a little bit goofy and tough with each other. It's kind of part of the aging process, and they roughhouse just like kids do. So we can't always control those parts of it, but Ray here he's a tough guy. He can stand up for himself, but you know, in some cases he might push the boundaries with a horse. And they tell him that in that sort of way. Hi, buddy. All right, so let's get you all tapped up. So in this sort of way, we're able to kind of guide you along this experience. So if somebody was interested in coming out to see Ray, but maybe couldn't make it out here, we do virtual appointments still. And that could be a good opportunity for people to see how a horse acts, like in this sort of situation. But I figured we would open this up to everyone so you can kind of see. And then also sometimes people just have these conceptions about how a young thoroughbred acts. And they tend to think that they're hot and really, wild, excitable creatures, and Ray is a great example of one who is on the opposite end of the spectrum. He's more of a quiet, lazy type of horse. He does have the ability to have a little engine under saddle, but for the most part, he's pretty lackadaisical. So tired. He has such a rough life here. Oh boy. All right, so we've got him saddled up. You can see an example of the type of bits that we use. They're all really mild. Some people might think that we just bit these horses up in really strong bits, but as a matter of fact, we generally just have them in a D ring or a loose ring or a boucher, which are all considered very simple snaffles. Are you falling asleep, Ray? So maybe. Rambo, of course, is here to supervise all of this. Don't know what we would do without him. Not much to see here, though, Rambo, huh? You want to say hi? Oh, good boy. What a good boy. He's a ham, and clearly Ray is interested, too. They are buddies. Excuse me, I don't have anything in my pockets. All right. Oh, thank you. Itchy head. We'll make sure it's all adjusted just for Ray. So we clean our tack in between rides, but because we tend to use a lot of similar bits, well, washing a bit is very critical too. We consider that part of washing the tack. But sometimes they need to be adjusted for the specific horse. So in this case, I need to put up one, it looks like, on this side, and we'll check the other side. All right. Oh, it's your buddy. Come on. I'm not trying to just be mean. It is important that the horse have their head in a proper position so that we can make sure it's an appropriate fit. About two. All right. Erica, do we have any questions coming in from people?
I haven't seen any yet, but I might have missed some.
If anybody has a question about Ray or about our process in general, you are welcome to ask it live, or if you end up catching this video after we are done being live, you're always welcome to leave a message in the comments, and we will circle back around to it just as soon as we are able. It's a good time to remind everyone that all of our facilities are working training farms, so we're always juggling a million different things, and everywhere except for Lexington handles more than just the new vocation horses, so our trainers are all very busy at work, and we do get hundreds of emails and phone calls every week. We have thousands of approved adopters. If you're not an approved adopter, that would be the very first step, because that opens the door to the communication. If you're not already approved, make sure you're approved before you try reaching out, so that we don't just send you back through the process. We are not trying to be mean. We just have, like I said, hundreds of people who reach out every single week, and we can only adopt out one horse to one adopter, and that makes it really tough. All right, so Ray is all ready to go. Let's head out to the ring. We will aim to be in the outdoor, because better lighting for our purposes, but hopefully we don't get drenched in the process, but that could be entertaining as well. So in the afternoons, you can see some of the stalls are being done. We split stall cleaning into morning and afternoon, so that for the generally, the horses are getting their stalls done when they're out in turnout. Most of the horses at this point in the year are turned out at night, and we'd like to keep it that way. Ideally, we have pretty mild weather relatively year-round. Horses being out at night means that they get to spend a little bit more time outside, but it does rely on them being at a point where we trust them to be responsible citizens outside while they're being unsupervised. And that just means that some of them need transition time to get to that point, because most of the horses who are, almost exclusively all the horses who are coming to us into our program are coming directly from the track or from a layout facility, so they might not be used to turnout. Oh, hello, Ray. I'm gonna back you out of my space. We do like to try to teach them manners, as they're all young horses. The average age of a horse here is 3 to 4 years old. And that means that they are adolescents, and as such, they can act like that. So they are living things that are hard to predict. We try to instill good values in them, but I'm sure just like kids, they don't always do exactly what they are told. And we try to tell them, we raised you better than this, but sometimes they have their own opinions. But a horse like Ray is pretty easily corrected in his ground manners. He does not get offended easily. He has more of a dominant type personality, and what that means is I think we've discussed that a little bit in previous videos. Hold on. So for anybody who's wondering what I was just doing, I was just tightening his girth, so I didn't want to have it be on too tight until we get on. You sort of double check before you get on in case it loosens. But we had talked about before about different personality types, and like I said in those videos, that it's most easily observed what their real personality type is like when you see them out in turnout. He likes to be more of a leader there, And so it's important with that type of personality that you work to create a good partnership with them so that you're not just butting heads with them or getting dominated by them when you're trying to work with them under saddle or on the ground. All right. Pretty easy. I'm gonna lean off and fix this. You can see I trust Ray quite a bit as I just lean right off of the saddle to try to fix that. Pretty easy guy. So for anybody who missed it, this is Wayfarer. He is available on our website at newvocations.org. We don't usually cold start our horses, but I figured it's best for everyone to see. Just throw them right into it. You can kind of see how they're going to be. So we'll keep it short and sweet. If you haven't already looked at Ray's profile online, this is Wayfarer. You can see him at newvocations.org. If you are an approved adopter and you're interested in Ray, a horse you can just kind of hang out with, who can be on the buckle, easygoing. Like I said, he does require a little bit of finessing because he's more of a dominant type personality. So he needs somebody who can sort of have the knowledge base to be able to handle a horse, who can at times sort of test you as a rider. But once you guys are situated as a good partnership, that he's pretty easygoing and he's a pretty fun guy. So thank you so much for joining us today on this Stable Pass behind the scenes video. Check out Wayfarer, and we hope to see you next time on these videos.